This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. Of course, Andrew again joined. I'm going to have Mark Chancey. Welcome back to the show.
You're a bit under the weather today, are you?
I don't know what I am.
Huh?
I don't know.
Got some dizziness?
Yeah.
Like, am I moving on you?
No.
Am I blurry to you?
No.
Okay. Maybe you got a bit of the vertigo.
I don't know. Nathan Lucas covered.
You and Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happened today? May
Yeah, it's
what?
May 3rd.
Tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is?
May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched Star Wars,
I know.
so.
I know.
So the Blue Jays won yesterday.
Boo-hoo! Yes.
Like crazy 8th inning.
I know what all the fix is to the Blue Jays' problems. Bonda.
Yeah.
Is it Anthony?
Anthony Bonda.
Anthony Bonda. He's the
Pretty bad.
He's the fix. Kazuma Okamoto is a little bit warm now.
A little bit.
A little bit. Not giving up on him yet, are you?
No, I was wrong about him.
Not yet. It's only been a month.
Well,
But we'll see. He looks like he's going in the right direction. Trending in the right direction. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So should I ask?
And the Flyers and Hurricanes played yesterday?
Yeah, the Flyers are toast.
Yeah.
Freddie Anderson is playing like he usually plays before Game 7. And
Yeah.
Flyers are toast.
Carolina will do their classic. They go to the third round and then lose.
I'm trying to get a piece of hair off this mic. There we go. Flyers are pretenders. Yeah. No?
Maybe.
Yeah, they're pretenders. They're not. I would say probably 4 straight, maybe 5 games, maybe for this one.
It could be a sweep, yeah.
I don't see any way around it being the Avalanche and the Hurricanes.
In the final? No, I think it's Avalanche Tampa.
2 natural disasters. The Avalanche and the Hurricanes. I think it's Tampa, eh?
Yeah.
So you're saying Tampa wins tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, listen,
big question for me tonight.
If Montreal couldn't do it last night, they're not doing it tonight.
Big question for me tonight in Tampa, Montreal. I have a sneeze coming. Do the Habs have their own little Matthews and Marner themselves?
In Caulfield and Suzuki.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, yeah, it's time to show up, boys. You haven't shown up for 6 games. We're going to need you. I think Caulfield has 1 goal. I don't know what Suzuki... I don't think Suzuki has a goal. He might. But that's not what you need from your number... The only thing that got the Habs as far as their 3rd and 4th lines.
Yeah.
Right? So, do they have Marners and Matthews?
Some decent goaltending.
Bum, bum, bum.
Some decent goaltending.
They've been getting decent goaltending. I think tonight is going to be another really close one. Or Tampa's going to win by 2 or 3.
Yeah. You can never cut Tampa.
If they get going...
Yeah.
And Vasilevsky plays like he did in Game 6, Montreal should have won that game.
And the winner of that series will face Buffalo.
Yes. And the further it goes on, the less interested I am.
Yes, true.
For sure. I got to say, the officiating is still as bad as ever. The call they made on Kucherov in overtime the other night, absolutely ridiculous to make that call at that moment.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, the Leafs are going to hire Sundin and Chayka, by the sounds of it.
Are we there? Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a press conference Monday, I think.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Media conference.
I'm not going to pass judgment
Tomorrow.
at all. Going to let this thing play out, see how it goes. I have a lot of questions.
Me too.
I have a lot of questions. The guy with the blue-rimmed glasses was on talking about this exhaustive search and going to have this high-end search firm, and they throw you back a Leaf alumni and a guy that hasn't been in the league for how long?
6 years.
6 years, and last time he was in the league was suspended by his employer, in quotes.
No,
not the Leafs, but the league.
He was, for the league.
For a year. So I don't know how it works in the NHL.
For talking to other teams while under contract.
Yeah, tampering.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in the NHL, but oftentimes if I'm looking for a job, I have to give my references, and they'll call up and say, well, he worked for you. Any issues? Well, he was suspended for a year, but, okay, well, we're not going to hire him because of that. but not the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Also, he cost his team a first and second round pick because
We're gonna take him.
He didn't. I don't know if you heard this, but he cost the Coyotes when he was the GM there
I know.
a first and second round pick because he didn't follow combine rules properly.
I know.
And
But we're going to take him.
As Sid pointed out, the Leafs need no help costing themselves first and second round picks. They can do that on their own.
I don't understand how this was this exhaustive search that. Anyway, like I said,
and the guy you land on is John Chayka.
those are my questions. I'm going to not pass judgment until I see where this goes. But I am shocked at this announcement. The Mats Sundin thing, I don't understand why they put him there. I'm assuming he's going to be what Shanahan was.
Yeah.
And then Pelly's going to be on the top. What I worry about for Sundin is nobody leaves those positions in Toronto on good terms. The only general manager that I think people look back on and say, yeah, he was good.
Cliff Fletcher?
Exactly.
Cliff Fletcher, yeah.
Every other GM has been brought in the best available. Burke, right? Nonis.
And Burke was tampered away, too.
We had them all. They all got fired relatively quickly, too, I might add. Shanahan was like the first NHL guy that had that role. Gone. So Mats Sundin, who every Leaf fan loves, right?
Right.
Is now putting all that at risk.
It should be pointed out, things were so bad toward the end of his Leafs tenure when he was a player that he kind of lost contact and fell out with the organization for a number of years.
Well, the issue was,
because I don't know if you remember, but
he was not going to renew. His contract was up,
and the team was bad, and they asked him to waive, and he said no.
Right, and isn't that kind of funny? Because
yeah,
he's probably going to be facing a lot of those same exact issues on day one. If it's him, we assume it's him.
But he thought they could still compete, but they were a terrible team at that time.
But this can go one of two ways. That guy is on Legends Row in Toronto. So he might bring them to the Holy Land and be a Masai Ujiri type. Or this all goes in the toilet and he's run out of town, and that's the stain on his legacy as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
One of, if not the greatest Leafs of all time.
Yes, he's definitely in the top 50. No, I'd put him in.
I would say top 3,
top 5 for sure. Yeah, top 3. I'd have to think that one through. Wendell's
because Gilmore would be in there.
Dougie's in there.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of Leafs back in the '60s and when they were
when they won the Cup. Yeah,
like
George Armstrong.
But of the modern era,
it would be Sundin.
Definitely,
he was a captain for a decade, and
he was a captain, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't a big rah guy. Led by example, said all the right things. That's why I wonder, talk about putting your legacy at risk.
It's true.
Coming into this diseased organization.
It's true.
And I don't know. I'm shocked at this, if this is true. The whole world is going to be talking about this in Leafland and shocked by it. On its face, it looks like a total boondoggle by Pelly.
Yeah.
This is what you came up with after this exhaustive search?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
And I read yesterday that there's a lot of executives around the league that are, apparently when they were talked to, they were baffled by this decision for Chayka.
I bet.
They were baffled the Leafs did this.
I bet. So it's going to go one of two ways?
Yeah.
It's going to go good or it's going to go bad. So I'm not going to say anything till I see how bad it goes.
It's true. Yeah.
Anyway, what are we doing today, my son?
We're playing a game we haven't played in 2 years. Mm-hmm. We're playing agree, disagree, or buffoonery. The last time, I feel like I should mention, the last time we played this game, we've only ever played it once.
Well, you've been doing your homework.
The last time we played this game was that famous Ross Atkins Victoria Day press conference. Where everything was buffoonery because everything he said was garbage.
Still is.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
By the way, you made a good point yesterday during the game, the Blue Jay game. Anthony Bonda, that seems like an Atkins guy. He'll be coming to the Blue Jays soon. He'll be Blue Jays soon.
Calling up the Minnesota GM saying, what would you take for Bonda? He's our kind of guy, right? Coming in a close game, and after he leaves, it's 11-4 for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But anyway, How about those Raptors, hey?
Yeah, RJ Barrett with a great
Could they pull
3?
off a miracle in Cleveland tonight?
I hope.
We all hope. They should have won in Cleveland in Game 5. They should have won.
Yeah.
They had that going into the fourth quarter. And I'm not a big basketball guy, but come on.
Yeah.
Just knock them off.
Anyway, so...
That'll be good.
But today's a bit of a different type of the game.
Okay.
Because usually we talk about Toronto teams.
Oh.
Today we're going to do kind of around the NHL.
Okay.
A little bit. Because there's a lot going on and with other teams as well.
So your statement we either agree with, we disagree with, or it's total buffoonery.
Yeah.
Not even going to comment on it.
So I want to start with the Edmonton Oilers.
I know I don't have anything for this, right?
No.
Okay. The Edmonton Oilers.
And there's been a lot of...
You made me download?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of talk around Connor McDavid.
Is it the clip I think it is?
Probably. But I want
Because if it is, it's the greatest clip ever that every Leaf and every Leaf executive should pay attention
So
to.
Connor McDavid, the Oilers lost in 6 games to the Anaheim Ducks. They were terrible defensively. They had no goaltending. Usually are.
They haven't had goaltending for years.
McDavid, now, the Edmonton's coach, Chris Knobloch, he did say that McDavid was playing through an ankle fracture and something else.
That's fine.
So, but it's the playoffs. Usually guys play hurt. Draisaitl was good, but it didn't matter because a lot of those guys didn't really show up. So Connor McDavid post-game, after Game 6, was asked about, the question's in here, and this was his answer. One of the best quotes that I think every Leaf, as you mentioned, should hear.
Why? I mean, it seems like it goes back to Game 1. It's been all year searching. Any way to put your finger on how come it was so hard to find an overall game this season?
That was tough. We were an average team all year. An average team with high expectations, you're going to be disappointed. We just never found it.
Kudos to Connor. I also don't think Connor's staying in Edmonton.
Well, because here's my...
Oh, is that the question?
Into the statement.
Okay.
Connor
an average team with high expectations. That's the Leafs.
Yeah.
Right?
Connor McDavid's time with the Oilers is over after being eliminated by Anaheim. Do you agree, disagree, or buffoonery?
Yeah, he signed a 2-year extension.
2-year extension.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Same money that he had.
Yeah, he's gone at the end of this. This is the second year now.
Yeah,
he has one more year.
One more year.
Yeah. So
no, sorry. His extension hasn't started yet. He's in the last year of his 8-year deal, and then
he's not staying beyond the extension. I don't understand that team. I don't understand how a stupid guy like me, for the past 5 years, could tell you they need goaltending and they need defense. They've never had it. Now, they did 2 cup final runs.
Yeah.
A lot of them were outscoring their opponent 7-6 and 5-4.
And I will say...
But it was blatantly on display this time around.
Corey Perry was a really good piece for them last year, so kind of did not have him as interesting, too.
A lot of things didn't go their way. No, Connor with a fractured foot. Maybe. But still, you're expecting him to just carry you every night. You can't win that way.
I wonder, because they made one of the worst trades ever when it comes to goaltending. They didn't have it with Skinner, and they realized they had to get rid of him.
They sent out bad, and I think they brought in worse.
And they sent out a bad goalie in Skinner to Pittsburgh, and they brought in a goalie who was put on waivers because he was so bad in Jari.
And Skinner couldn't get a look the last few games of the series he was in.
And Jari never even... I think he played 1 game in that series.
Yep.
It was all Connor Ingram.
Yep.
So, they didn't fix that. They had multiple opportunities.
And Skinner didn't play in Pittsburgh.
Skinner didn't play in Pittsburgh.
So they traded for those 2 goalies for the fix for both teams. Well, it wasn't really a fix for Pittsburgh. They were just...
And it's been mentioned a lot of times now in Edmonton and around the league. Evan Bouchard is pretty bad.
He's a... What's the word? Who's the guy I'm thinking of? Leafs had him too. Actually, he went to Edmonton. He's a defenseman that doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
He's great offensively. He can great puck mover. He's a lot like Carlson in Pittsburgh was.
Yep.
Who's the guy I'm thinking of? Oh,
Leafs and then went to Edmonton.
Yep. Or it might have been the other way around. You know. It'll come to my head. Defense wasn't part of his game as a defenseman.
Right.
Oh, I can see his face too. Anyway, we'll keep going. Oh, right on the tip of my tongue. I hate that. I hate it. Anyway, next one.
Yeah. Drum roll?
Oh, did I do a drum roll for the first one?
I think so.
I don't recall. That's how bad my memory is. I can't remember something 10 seconds ago.
This next one is frustrating me. But I had to bring it up because people have been talking to me about it like ever since it happened. So Vegas, the Golden Knights, they beat Utah in the series in 6. And in game 6, who should get 2 goals?
Mitchie Marner's the first
But Mitch
star,
Marner.
right? Yeah.
So here's my question, and I'm already going to tell you my answer is buffoonery.
Yeah.
Because it's total garbage. But because people have been bringing it up to me, I wanted to ask you. Mitch Marner was only bad in the playoffs for the Leafs and will now show up because he's in Vegas.
I can agree, disagree, or say that's buffoonery. I think that's almost buffoonery. I disagree, bordering on buffoonery.
Because I don't like the fact, like people were texting me and being like, oh, you thought he was going to be so bad. It's like, it was just one game.
One game does not a playoff performer make, right?
But I will say it's surprising he did something in game 6.
Shocking almost.
That's
Shocking. But one thing about Vegas, totally different culture.
yeah.
But if they can find the right role for him, and he doesn't have to hide like a little chicken, he might have some success. But Vegas isn't getting into the 3rd round, so
Yeah.
gone early again. He will be.
And I will say, I think you brought this up. If he doesn't perform for Vegas, he'll be gone. They don't care.
They won't care.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
They do that with everybody. Look at their history.
Yeah.
It's a good culture. It's called winning,
Yeah.
right? It's called winning. Oh, his name is driving me nuts, that defenseman. Oh, I got to look that up. You know him. How come you're not helping me?
I feel like
You're not helping me.
I'm trying to think of people, but
Oh, it was a big signing when they got him too, they thought.
Tyson Berry.
Yes.
Tyson Berry.
Thank you, my son.
Tyson Berry.
Thank you, my son. Tyson was
We got him
great
from-
on the,
we got him for
on the
Kadri.
power play. Yeah.
We got him for Kadri.
And great moving the puck.
Him and Kerfoot.
But if they ever need a defense, Tyson Berry was not your guy.
Yeah.
And that is an Evan Bouchard type. Right?
Right.
Yeah, I think about Tampa. Now that I'm segueing back to Montreal, Tampa. They're doing all this without Hedman.
Yeah.
Talk about a huge miss there.
That's yeah.
Whoa.
Massive.
Anyway, good for Mitchie. We hope to see it. Maybe he'll win the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate bird flip to the Leaf fans.
And our final one that we kind of beat to death before we started the game. Agree, disagree, or buffoonery. That Mats Sundin is exactly what the Leafs culture needs to win a championship. I'm going to disagree. I'm not going to say buffoonery. I'm just going to disagree.
I'm going to have to disagree because what I know of Mats as a fan, he's a winner,
Yeah.
but he's not the type, to me, that's going to instill a cult. I don't know.
Although it should be pointed out, through all of his time here, they never won a cup with him. So
No, they didn't. But they were good. They twice went to the conference final and should have been to the Stanley Cup one year. But, Kerry Fraser missed a call on
that
Doug
was '93.
Gilmour.
That was before Sundin.
Oh, that's right, too. Sorry. That was with Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but he did go to a conference
They
final,
did.
I believe.
The last time they went one was with him.
And he played with O-Dog.
The last time they went to a conference final was with him. It was in Carolina.
I think it was against Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where this new culture is going to be injected from.
Yeah.
If it's from Pelly, we're screwed.
Plus, apparently, Ty Domi and Gary Roberts are also being considered for roles with the team.
Well, I heard. What are they going to do? Like,
Well,
what
here's
are
the
they
thing.
going to do?
Ty Domi, Max Domi, and John Chayka apparently lived together when he was playing in junior or something. And
Who cares?
Ty Domi got and he was the GM in Arizona when Max Domi was in Arizona. I don't know what you know what I mean, but
You're putting too many chefs in the kitchen. That is the problem with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Too many people have a voice in this. They say they can't make a hockey decision because everyone on that board where it's hockey thinks they're a hockey expert.
but you don't think that former players that are winners would help?
No.
Like Gary Roberts and
Who else
Ty
does
Domi?
it? What? Who else is set up like that?
Well, I don't know. Like
Colorado Avalanche are not set up like that.
Rod Brindamore seems pretty
Vegas is not set up like that.
good for Carolina.
That's a coach. Carolina is not set up like that. They don't have ex-players all over the place in
Detroit's got
ceremonial
that.
roles. What?
Detroit's got that. They
That's a
got
great example.
Steve Eiser. Yeah, it's true.
Great example. Isn't he the boss?
Yeah, he's GM.
Yeah. It's different to have a GM and a president of hockey ops. That's fine. But you've got Chayka apparently, and you got Sundin. Where are you putting Roberts and Domi? And why don't you bring them all back? See if Dougie wants to come back, and we'll have a ceremony before every game to honor the alumni. They're alumni. Let them be alumni. It's just pure silliness.
Well, Domi I can understand because his son plays for the team.
Here's what I think. Troy Stetcher was on Overdrive last week.
I hope we bring him back.
And he talked about how Toronto was the most amazing place to play for. And it wasn't really so much about the fans. It was about everything they get.
Yeah.
And how they're treated.
That's true.
So O-Dog raised a point right after the call, and I totally agree. Maybe we should look at what we're doing for these players because it hasn't worked, right? They're pampered. No matter what happens, they're pampered. They're getting on that luxury vehicle. They're doing that. No. Win. That's all you need to do. Win. Everybody wants to come to Toronto because it's a vacation, and you can see it in their play. Win. That's all you need to do. You're a professional hockey player. The only thing that should matter to you,
and it seems to be
is winning.
A reoccurring theme in Toronto. Whenever a good player signs here from another team or gets traded here from another team, he always seems to get worse when he comes to Toronto. It doesn't make any sense to me. Every time a player comes to Toronto, it's always like they're worse than they were before.
Because they get dropped into that losing culture.
Yeah.
Where happiness trumps winning.
Dylan Cease looks pretty good for Toronto.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the Blue Jays, though. Blue Jays
it happens at
Blue Jays are not the Leafs.
Yeah, but
no.
We brought this up a couple of years ago.
Buffoonery.
If Shohei had come to Toronto, it might have been the same thing.
No, that buffoonery. The Blue Jays and Leafs, don't even put them there together. Soon they're gonna be, because MLSE is gonna be taking over that too.
They're gonna merge.
Then they're gonna ruin the whole organization. Doesn't work for the Blue Jays. There have been many high-quality free agents that have signed here or been traded here that have been high-quality players. Don't.
David Price?
Yes. Another good one.
Josh Donaldson?
Yeah. They come here, they play well. If they don't play well, guess what? They don't stick around.
Not Anthony Santander.
Listen, I'm talking about before the Atkins era too,
it's true, yeah.
There have been a ton. Paul Molitor.
Donaldson was here for the Atkins era.
No, he was here before that.
No, he was here in the Atkins era.
But he didn't bring him in.
I think he... Well.
No, he was here long before that. They got rid of him.
He got traded. They traded for him in 2015, which was the first year Atkins took over.
Oh, I don't think you know what you're talking about right now.
No,
that was an Anthopoulos move.
It might have been before he left.
I guarantee you. You're buffoonery. Is that the question? Buffoonery.
No.
Do not mix up the Leafs and the Blue Jays.
But there have been some examples of the Blue Jays where someone's come in and...
Blue Jays are getting worse.
Yeah.
That way. There's no doubt about it. But no. Yeah, there's always going to be an example, one or two. But for the most part, we have had great success attracting big names and have those big names perform.
I guess it would just be the Leafs because the Raptors got Kawhi and they won a championship. So.
Yeah, well. Again, that was Masai having the stones to
make a move.
This Lowry thing isn't working with DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan's not working.
And Lowry wasn't happy. And Masai said, do you want to win or do you want to just be happy? And look what happened.
They won.
And now Lowry wants to retire a Raptor.
Yeah.
Go figure. Are we all done there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they lost Kawhi and they never recovered.
So just to make you accountable.
Yeah.
You got on the scale this week. What happened?
It was a 0.2.
You were a 0.2 pounds. And I was exactly the same as I was the week before. I'm okay with that because I was out at the keg and did some big breakfast. Anyway, I know why I stayed the same. Do you know why you went up 0.2?
I don't even know. I don't know what I was doing.
You're not being totally serious when you go up, right?
Yeah.
So let's get back to it. And we'll have a big report next week.
Right.
All right.
So thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. Back next week with the next episode.
We'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.